Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you all are doing well today. Elliot here. Welcome back to The Fragrance Well. Today's topic of discussion around fragrances, I'm going to be talking about scents that I think are great for the gym. Now, let me say this first and foremost. I do not think spraying a fragrance on and going to the gym and you're already kind of funky, if you know what I mean. In other words, you ain't showered in a bit and you think like, well, hey, it's the gym. I'll just go in there. Everybody's funky anyway. Bad idea. Don't do that. And certainly don't think these fragrances I'm going to talk about is somehow going to cover up your funk. If you're gonna go to the gym and you haven't showered, at least get one of those wipes or something, those body wipes, and take care of the most sensitive areas at least. Let me also say that I think a gym scent honestly can be any fragrance you want it to be, but there are some fragrances, at least in my mind, that put me in a gym scent kind of mood, or at least there are some fragrances on this list that I think are go-tos for myself when I want to work out and wear a fragrance. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button. Doesn't cost you anything, helps the channel out. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel, and remember to hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I upload new content. All right, guys, let's get into it. All right, so as I mentioned before, I think you can wear whatever fragrance you want to the gym, and here's an honorable mention of a one that is definitely not considered a gym scent. Moschino's Toy Boy. Now, this is not a part of the list, it's just an honorable mention. I'm just saying I have worn this to the gym, and I actually enjoyed every minute of wearing it to the gym. I didn't overspray it, obviously. This might be something that's a little weird for people trying to do a workout, but I'm just saying you can wear whatever you want. Now, onto the official list from the House of Versace. Dylan Blue. Versace's Dylan Blue. Now, if you have been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know this is not my favorite fragrance in my collection. It's not one I'm overly impressed by, but I have stated that it is a very functional fragrance. It's one that can pretty much be worn anywhere. I've said it works really great in the humidity. To me, that is a quality that I think makes a great gym scent. It's also very people pleasing, and for most people, they get really good performance out of this. So let's say you're going to the gym and you want something to kind of last past the gym because maybe your workout's not gonna be super heavy and you don't expect to work up much of a sweat and you're gonna run some errands afterwards and you want your fragrance to last through that. Dylan Blue typically will do that for you. This is an aquatic scent, has a lot of citrus in the opening. It's quite salty. It's aromatic, has a little bit of spice to it. Also has some incense in the base, giving it a little bit of a smoky vibe. It's a very people-pleasing scent, so I don't think you'd offend anybody at the gym as long as you don't spray it a million times. As I've stated, this is a pretty well-performing and actually a good, strong scent, so I don't think you need a million sprays of it, even if you're going to the gym. Not my favorite fragrance, but a solid gym scent for sure, in my opinion. Versace Dylan Blue. All right, next up from the House of Chanel, we have got Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Chanel's Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Now, some might say that the original Allure Homme Sport is probably a better choice for going to the gym. I don't necessarily disagree. This is a fresh, citrusy, very creamy sport fragrance. You got a lot of sandalwood, as you're commonly seeing a lot of Chanel fragrances, also a lot of tonka bean, so it is a little bit sweet as well, but there's still enough of a freshness in there that this does have a sport fragrance vibe, and I think it can work great for the gym also. Also, I don't have Chanel Allure Homme Sport, so I can't really feature it in the video. Another one that I think is gonna smell pleasant while you're in the gym, so you're not necessarily gonna offend anybody, so you know, you can spray this and not have to worry about running people off or pissing anybody off. It's not one that I honestly wear that much anymore, but it is pleasant to smell in the air, so you know it's gonna keep me in a good mood while I'm doing my workout. And also, similar to Dylan Blue, if you're doing a lighter workout, you can wear this one and it'll be nice to run errands with afterwards, because this is pretty much a just kind of do-it-all fragrance in general. So once again, from the House of Chanel, we have Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. All right, next up from the House of Dior, we've got Dior Homme Sport, the 2021 release. Dior Homme Sport 2021. This is one of my favorite sport fragrances in my collection. No, sorry, it is my favorite sports fragrance in my collection at this point, or at least sports marketed fragrance. Very bright citrus, very zingy, very fresh and clean, a lot of aldehydes in here. It's also a little bit spicy, a little bit smoky, and very like cedar, dry, woody type dry down. This one is interesting because it has a lot of class to it, so the fragrance in general, kind of similar to the choices I've talked about so far, can really work for anything. But what I like about this for being a sports fragrance, or should I say being a gym fragrance, is this one has much more of a sharp, clean vibe, to where with this one, if I'm going to do a workout that's a lot heavier, I expect to sweat a lot, and I want something to kind of counter that heat that's gonna be coming off of my body, I think this one is a great option specifically for that. Certainly one of my go-tos when I go to the gym. Dior Homme Sport 2021 release. All right, next up, we got another one from the house of Versace. This is Versace Man Oh Fresh. Versace Man Oh Fresh. So, this is easily one of the easiest to wear, affordable, accessible, warm weather fragrances in general. Also just good starter fragrances for anybody getting into fragrances. And it's also a really good gym scent. So this one's a little bit fruity, a little bit more aromatic, has a really interesting star fruit note in the opening of the fragrance, giving it a little bit of a tropical vibe. It's not a super sweet fragrance, but it is a little bit ambery in the dry down, so it has a little bit of a sweet touch to it, giving it a little bit more of a mass appeal. Great thing about this fragrance is you don't have to worry about overspraying this one. It's not a very strong fragrance at all, so you can spray this all over your body. It's not gonna be offensive. It's also not gonna be too strong for anybody you're working out around if you wanna wear it to the gym. Once again, from the house of Versace, we've got Man Oh Fresh. Okay, so this next one's coming from the house of Givenchy. This is Gentleman Intense. Givenchy's Gentleman Intense. So this one might be a little bit of a weird choice for some people going to the gym, because even though this is the fresher take on the Iris fragrance line of the Gentleman line, this one still has quite a bit of sweet, creamy iris in it. So it could be something that, a lot of people don't think they necessarily would want to smell when they're going to the gym. It's also maybe one you could potentially overspray. So, maybe you could come off a little weird to some people at the gym. That's for you to decide. But I have actually worn this fragrance to the gym quite a few times, and I enjoy it while I'm wearing it to the gym. I don't overspray it, so I don't have to worry about choking anybody out. All I can say is if I were doing an outdoor type workout or working out in a place where there's basically no air conditioning, this might not be my first choice, but if you don't overspray it, it could be an option. But yeah, I think it's a good gym scent option, particularly if you want to have something just a little bit outside of the box and not your prototypical gym sport fragrance. Once again, from the house of Givenchy, we've got Gentleman Intense. All right, next up from the house of Lalique, we have got Encry Noir Sport. Lalique's Encry Noir Sport. This is also one of my top go-tos when I want to wear a fragrance. When I'm going to the gym or I'm going to be doing something where I know I'm going to be sweating a lot. I wear this a lot when I mow the yard. I wear this a lot when I go to some of my drum rehearsals and I know it's going to be hot. There's quite a bit of citrus in the opening of this fragrance, freshening up that deep vetiver that Encry Noir is known for. I would say this is probably one of the easier choices if you want to get into a deep and heavy vetiver scent where the vetiver is very forward, but also it's freshened up a bit to kind of lighten the load. I think this is a great sport fragrance because it is a little bit interesting. It is definitely a sport style fragrance where, all they did was take the original and add a lot of citrus and maybe some aromatics to freshen it up a bit. But this one is still a very interesting scent, a very kind of mysterious scent. It's very different from your average sports scent. It's nothing like a Nautica Voyage, for instance. Definitely works great for the gym, in my opinion. Once again, this is Lalique Encry Noir's Sport. All right, moving on. Next up from the house of Hugo Boss, we've got Hugo Reversed. Hugo Boss's Hugo Reversed. So this is another one similar to some of the fragrances I had earlier in this list that are kind of really good for anything. They're easygoing, very simple. This one here has a very grapefruit-like citrus opening, kind of an aromatic, clean and spicy mid, and a woody dry down. Because this fragrance pretty much can work for anything, it's also a great gym scent. It's gonna smell nice, it's not gonna be inoffensive to anybody. I don't think you really have to worry about overspraying it. Like I said, it smells nice. It's also a very affordable fragrance option, so you can spray it as much as you want, and if you run out, you can easily get another bottle without it costing you a bunch. Also another one that if you're leaving the gym and going to run a couple more errands, it's a good one to have on. Like I said, it's gonna be pleasing. It's not gonna wow anybody in my opinion, but you will definitely smell great. Another inexpensive gym scent option. From the house of Hugo Boss, we've got Hugo Reversed. All right, so this next one's coming from the house of Mont Blanc. We've got Legend Spirit. Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. This one's actually in some ways a little bit similar to the Hugo Boss Reversed. Kind of similar style, grapefruit kind of like citrus opening, has some aromatic touches to it, but this one also has some aquatic feels to it. There is some spicy aromatics to it, but it's a little bit more defined or a little bit more refined, if you will. Also has a woody dry down, but you also got a muskiness to it as well. So the fragrance has a little bit more going on, but it kind of serves the same purpose. It's an easy fragrance to wear. This one is a little bit more juvenile feeling than the Hugo Boss Reverse, but because of that aquatic and clean nature it has, definitely works as a gym scent as well. Great for the warmer weather, so that naturally, to me, makes it a good gym scent. And it's also another one that's an inexpensive option. But, you know, good gym scent, also just kind of a good all-around scent, especially for the warmer weather. Once again, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. All right, got another one from the house of Mont Blanc. This is Mont Blanc Explorer. Mont Blanc Explorer. Now, this is another one I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't hate it, but I liked it a lot more when I first got it, but I think I got some other Aventus style fragrances that are frankly just more higher quality than this, and this right now is the least favorite Aventus style fragrance that I have in my collection that I still at least like. But honestly, in my opinion, Aventus on its own is actually a really great gym scent. Obviously, it's a fragrance that's good for anything, so it could work for the gym as well. So naturally, I just went with Mont Blanc Explorer because hey, it's another cheaper option. I'll be honest, I don't think that a gym scent should necessarily be less expensive, but for whatever reason, typically the scents I go for that are gym scents tend to be my less expensive fragrances, so that's kind of just why I picked this one. To me, this is a little bit drier than Aventus. It's not as fruity, obviously. It does not have actual pineapple in it. It's just using a combination of notes and accords to give that pineapple-like vibe. But to me, this one's a little bit more aromatic. It's a little bit drier. And, you know, honestly, kind of stands on its own from Aventus, but it's still clearly meant to be an Aventus style fragrance. But as a result, it is a great gym scent because I think Aventus in general is a good gym scent. So once again, from the house of Mont Blanc, this is Explorer. All right, and last but not least, from the house of Xerjoff, the Cosmomarati line, we've got Mephisto Gentil Uomo. Mephisto Gentil Uomo. Now, I'll be honest, this one here, I think shines a little bit better as just kind of an everyday office kind of scent, barbershop kind of style to it. Very bright citrus to it, very musky, very clean florals. But honestly, it's those qualities that I think make it a gym scent option. But it's a little bit more of an elegant take on a fragrance like that. It is very gentlemanly, very classy. And since I'm willing to wear fragrances that, you know, have none of these characteristics whatsoever and are a lot deeper and more mysterious, why not wear a fragrance like this? Again, you're gonna smell clean, you're gonna smell very refreshing, so I don't think you would be super off-putting to anybody. However, I will say, I think if you overspray this, the musk in the base of the fragrance can come out really, really strong. That could be maybe a little weird to some folks, so I wouldn't say this is one you would wear to the gym and just, you know, spray it 20 times over you. But then again, hey, do whatever you want. But even though this is a fresh and clean fragrance, I do think it is a little bit of an interesting take on something you might wear to the gym because it is a little bit different than your average gym or sport fragrance. So once again, from the house of Xerjoff, the Cosmomarati line, this is Mephisto Gentil Uomo. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this list. Let me know down in the comments below what is a fragrance you like to wear to the gym or when you're getting your workout in. Thanks for watching all the way into the end. Remember to be well and smell well, and I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.